Hey rail fans, how's it going? I'm going to put together a boxcar kit. It should only take a couple of minutes to do this. They're not relatively difficult. This is a old Roundhouse Products HO gauge or HO scale kit. I bought this on eBay a couple of weeks ago for $5 plus shipping. So they're pretty cool, easy to put together. So we'll go ahead and get started. You can see the parts in here that are going to need to be assembled onto the boxcar. We'll take the cellophane wrapping off of the shipping box here and go ahead and get started. Some of the things you're going to need to put one of these kits together: an X-Acto knife, a little bit of plastic model glue for attaching the smaller parts. Okay, now that we have the wrapping paper taken off, we'll go ahead and pull the parts out of the box, make sure we have everything. This little bag here contains the weights for the boxcar. You can see we have the trucks and the wheels in there, the couplers. I'm not going to be using those. What I use is I use kadee number 5 all metal couplers for my rolling stock, and I have intermountain 33-inch metal wheels that I put on all my cars. I used to have a lot of derailments and with plastic wheels, so I started swapping them out a couple of months ago. I've had pretty good success with the metal wheels. I've had very few derailments ever since I started swapping out the plastic ones for the metal ones. I buy these at my local hobby shop, a box of 100 for about $65. So they're about 65 cents a piece. These magnetic couplers by kadee, I probably pay $17–18 for a box of these. There's 20 pair in there. They go pretty far. So I don't use the plastic stuff that comes in the kit. I swap out my stuff. Here's the body. I want to make sure that everything looks okay. I don't really see anything wrong with that. Doesn't see any cracks, or shouldn't be. I mean, this was an original package. Even though Roundhouse was taken over by Horizon Hobby, they still have some pretty good products, but appears to be okay. Here we have some parts. You can see the doors here, the door guides. This is the roof walk that's going to get installed on the boxcar here. That's what you need the glue for. There's some brake wheels, some coupler cover plates. There's some other parts here. This is the underframe. See some other parts up here, some spacers, some more coupler cover plates. Another brake wheel. I think we'll probably use that black brake wheel there. I think that'll look pretty good there on this this brown boxcar. And of course, you always have your instructions in the box. Shouldn't be too difficult to put this together. Pretty simple. Looks like there's a lot of parts. We'll go ahead and get started. Okay, the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to mount the roof walk, but as you can see, some of the holes where the roof walk is going to be mounted are not completely cleaned out, like this one here. I'm going to need to take the X-Acto knife to that and clean that out to make sure that the pins for the roof walk slide right down in there. So just take your X-Acto knife and kind of clean that hole out a little bit. We will glue this in there to make sure that it doesn't fall out. This one is really, they didn't clean this up too well at the shop before they sent it out. What we'll do is we'll flip it over and clean out the inside. All it takes is a few twists. You can see there, after inserting the X-Acto knife in there and making a couple of twists, that cleaned out. And like I say, once we get this glued in place from the inside, you won't even see that once the car is completely put together. Want to make sure that you clean out all your plastic shavings. There, they don't look too bad. We can see through those pretty well. Brush off some of the plastic shavings. Sometimes they want to give you a little bit of difficulty, but don't let it win. Well, we'll set that aside. Let's go ahead and grab the roof lock, and we'll cut this free here. You want to be careful when you cut this. Make sure that you don't destroy or damage. Sometimes it's better to lay it flat on your surface and use the knife and just very gently cut that free, just like that. We'll clean it up once we get it all apart. There we go, our roof lock is clear. Go ahead and take a look at this. Okay, what we need to do is we need to shave off this excess plastic where we just cut it free. And just go ahead and take the knife and gently shave that. Shave it at all three points where you cut it loose. Get the plastic shavings off of there and run my finger down there. Yeah, that's pretty smooth. That looks pretty clean, looks pretty good. Now if I had some brown paint, I could touch that up and blend right in there. You wouldn't hardly notice that at all. Before we start gluing things, we want to make sure that the parts fit where they're going to go, because once they're glued, they are just that, glued. Some of these metal holes need to be cleaned out a little bit. Let's see, that one there needs to be cleaned out a little bit. Not going to quite fit in there. I don't want to force it too much. These are delicate plastic parts, so we don't want to force them too much. Test fit it again. Sometimes if you flip it around the other direction, sometimes the things will fall together. But this one right here is still a little bit tight. It's not bad to be a little bit tight, but like I said, you don't want to force it in there to the point where things are breaking and splitting on you, so you just need to work with it a little bit. It's snug, but it slid down in there. You can see there the roof lock right there on top. What we'll do is we'll make sure that the pins are in the holes all the way. Alright, that looks pretty good. We'll go ahead and glue that in place, and I say that's what your model cement's for. So we'll go ahead and grab the model cement. We really don't want to or need a whole lot inside of there. So when you dab your glue around where the pins come through the holes, you don't need a whole lot, just need enough to hold it in place. I just want to put a little bit on there at a time. Each one of them. I say this is going to be on the inside of the car. Nobody's going to see it except you guys watching this video. There you can see the glue that I put on the inside to hold that in place. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put in the brake wheel. I've already cut it free from the plastic molding, save some time on the video here, but what we're going to do is we're going to put that brake wheel in this little hole right here. And one of the things I like to do, especially with working with this plastic cement, is get a spare piece of paper, put a little dab of glue on the spare piece of paper. That way I can work with it with a toothpick, especially with these small holes and small openings, rather than trying to dab it in there with that tube. And we're just going to take a little bit of this glue on our toothpick. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that we get it inside of the hole there. And when we go ahead and put the wheel in there, that's going to slide right in there. Twist it a couple times. Make sure that the glue spreads around. Looks pretty straight there. We'll leave a couple of seconds for that glue to set. Then we'll go ahead and start on with the next step.